Okay, part, I guess, kind of 3 of math today is not very much. You have no homework in the textbook, no homework in the workbook. It's kind of a little bit of a break. Oh, the only thing you're going to be doing is just answering your partner's question, and then we're doing a morning math on Edmodo. So, as a quick review, I have this kind of good video that we're just going to watch for a moment. Okay. Where is it? Play.
What? Still searching YouTube for math help? Are the videos from 2006 real?
Okay.
Hi, this is Rob. Welcome to Math Antics. In this lesson, we're going to learn some really important things about a whole branch of math called algebra. The first thing you need to know is that algebra is a lot like arithmetic. It follows all the rules of arithmetic, and it uses the same 4 main operations that arithmetic is built on: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But algebra introduces a new element, the element of the unknown. When you were learning arithmetic, the only thing that was ever unknown was the answer to the problem. For example, you might have the problem 1 plus 2 equals what? The answer isn't known until you go ahead and do the arithmetic. Now, the important thing about algebra is that when we don't know what a number is yet, we use a symbol in its place. That symbol is usually just any letter of the alphabet. A really popular letter to choose is the letter X. So in arithmetic, we would just leave the problem like this: 1 plus 2 equals blank. And we'd write in the answer when we did the addition. But in algebra, we'd write it like this: 1 plus 2 equals X. The X is a placeholder that stands for the number that we don't know yet.
Okay, good. This is
What we
excellent
have
review.
here is a very basic algebraic equation. An equation is just a mathematical statement that 2 things are equal. An equation says the things on this side of the equal sign have the same value as the things on the other side of the equal sign. In this case, our equation's telling us that the known values on this side, 1 plus 2, are equal to what's on the other side, which happens to be the unknown value that we're calling X. One of the main goals in algebra is to figure out what the unknown values in equations are. And when you do that, it's called solving the equations. In this equation, it's pretty easy to see that the unknown value is just 3. All you have to do is actually add the 1 and 2 together on this side of the equation, and it turns into 3 equals x, which is the same as x equals 3. So now we know what x is. It's just 3. That almost seems too easy, doesn't it? And that's why in algebra, you're usually given an equation in a more complicated form, like this: x minus 2 equals 1. This is exactly the same equation as 1 plus 2 equals x, but it's been rearranged so that it's not quite as easy to tell what x is. So in algebra, solving equations is a lot like a game where you're given mixed up, complicated equations, and it's your job to simplify them and rearrange them until they're nice simple equations, like x equals 3, where it's easy to tell what the unknown values are.
Okay.
We're gonna learn.
All right. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So that was just a little bit of a review. What he was getting into next is actually more grade 7 stuff. So if we are able to finish this unit and wrap it up quickly, then I'll actually show you guys how to balance equations, which isn't it's more like grade 7 stuff, but the basics of it aren't really too bad. Anyway, hopefully that kind of made a little bit of sense to you, just to review that we have an equation, 2 things are equal, one side is equal to the other side, and we have to figure out what the value of the variable is. Okay, so that's really it for the lesson today. This is the homework, okay? So the first thing is you have to solve the story problem made by your partner on Seesaw, okay? Which is going to be due tomorrow. Please check, let me just see here, where are we? Seesaw, okay. So here, just check, oh good, some more are coming in. Okay, just check what I have written to you, okay? Because sometimes what you have put is just like a normal mathematical story problem, but it's not really related to like your partner being able to fill in the table. So even if you just keep it kind of simple as like, this is the cost of the pencil case was 15 dirhams. If every item I put in the pencil case is an additional 5 dirhams, how much would this be worth if I had 8 items? I don't know how many things I have in here. If I had 8 items, okay? So, if you have more than one number going on in your question, I'm gonna need you to prove to me that it works in a table. There are some that people have found out that are quite complicated that do work in a table, but I just wanna make sure that they work so that when we're flopping with a partner that they're able to solve it, okay? So if I've asked you to put your values into a table, you might need to rework your question. That's kind of what I'm looking for, is that you have something that stays the same, like the cost of the entry into the water park, and then every additional snack that you buy at Yes Water World or whatever, you're spending another 15 dirham. How much would you spend at a day at Yes Water World if you bought 6 things or whatever? Okay, so something kind of along those lines. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so that is that. So that's your only actual homework, is finishing off the edits, and then I'll be switching you with somebody, okay? So that's the homework. And then what we're doing also today is we're doing a quiz, like a morning math kind of deal on Edmodo, okay? There's only 6 questions. I'll just sort of take you through this quickly. So which expression accurately reflects the values in the input-output machine? So you're saying which of these expressions would relate to this? Okay. Next one. Okay, so referring to the table below, this is fill in the blank. Which values would be in the input-output machine? No. Oh yeah. Please use. Don't say add, ADD, subtract. Like, don't use the words, but use the symbols. And the way that I program this is like, say it's like times 5. I would just put in like x5. So like without a space or anything. Okay. And then it'll give you your results if like, anyway, I'll go through and manually check it anyway, but that's the way that I programmed it. So if you can use the symbols rather than the words, that would be more accurate in what the computer does to give you the answers. Okay, this one is an old PAT question. All right. So this is an expression. This is why we did this yesterday, because it has an equal sign. So which one makes sense? The table is very similar to what we're working with. It's just horizontal rather than being vertical. The next one, okay, so this is just figuring out which continuation of the pattern rule makes sense. And then we have a word problem. Okay, so you have to, write down what's the expression. I just want to know the expression. There's no actual thing that you're solving for. And then, okay, here's another word problem. It relates to an expression. Oh, I don't know why I have E in here. Clearly, E is not the right answer. So you just have to pick which one of these is correct based upon the work that you do. Okay, so this is going to be live starting like pretty much right away. I'll have this live at like 10:30. I'll have it live at like 10:35 type thing. And it's due today because I want to be able to release the video tomorrow. Okay, so it should be done today before the end of the day, like before 2 o'clock type thing. Okay, but really you should do it before 1 o'clock because that's when we have our Zoom at 1 o'clock, which is why we're not doing very much for ELA today. Okay, good job and see you soon.